on my side. It's a Tuesday morning. It's the 9th of December 2025. And according to our program, this should be our final meeting for the year. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all the honorable members who are on the platform. I want to also welcome our support staff who are assisting us in the background, who are always with us. I also want to welcome the petitioner who's with us. I also want to welcome all the stakeholders who are part and parcel of our proceedings. Without wasting any time, members, I just want to welcome you again. I know it's December. We are wrapping up the year and want to enjoy the much-deserved break so we can continue with our work next year. Mr. Mkize, can you flag the agenda for us on the screen? So that we can just all follow the proceedings for today. Thank you very much. You can just make it a little bit bigger. Yes. All right. Honorable members, here is our agenda. That is, we're going to follow this agenda for today. I wanted to note, is there any apologies, Mr. Mkize, that must come to our attention?
Morning, honorable members and colleagues. Yes, Chair, we do have two formal apologies from Honorable Manenisa and Honorable Kherik. That's all we got, Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Those are the two apologies that are before us. You must note. Honorable members, this is our agenda for the day. The first is to consider and adopt the agenda. Then we got the continuation of the SAMU petition hearing. Then we got to get about of legal advice regarding the South African Express petition. And then number 4, we're going to consider the Magog village report. And then 5, we're going to consider all outstanding sets of minutes. Can we have a mover for the consideration adoption of the agenda?
Chairperson.
Honorable Billy, over to you.
Chair, good morning to yourself and good morning to the honorable members. I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy. Can we have a seconder to that move?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. It's Honorable Midupi.
Yes, Honorable Midupi, you can proceed.
Yes, I stand to second the mover. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Midupi. Honorable members, thank you. Our agenda has been duly adopted. Members, on the first item, we are having, go a little bit up, Mr. Mkize. All right. We'll be doing the continuation of the SAMU petition hearing. You will recall that we had a meeting, the petition hearing at the NFSS building in Cape Town in the CBD, where the petitioner, we had representative from SAMU. At the meeting, we also had representative from the Uthugela district municipality, including the water board. We also had a representation from the COCTA KZN. We had 2 officials who joined us at that meeting. Now today, what we just want to finalize and wrap up the hearing so that we can proceed with the petition. We have been informed that we are going to take more representation from the petitioners. Mr. Mkize, just assist us who's going to be making the first submission.
Yes, Chair, it will be Carter, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And who is leading that from COCTA KZN?
It will be Ms. Govender, the DDG.
Thank you very much.
Dr.
Ms. Govender, are you on the, all right? Can you hear me, Mr. Mkize?
Yes, I can hear you, Chair.
All right, you said Ms. Govender will start first.
Yes.
All right. No, thank you very much for that. Ms. Governor, are you on the platform? Ms. Governor? I don't see to pick up a name of Ms. Governor. Ms. Governor Kokta KZN, are you able to join us? Able to? Okay, I'm not getting any reception from Ms. Governor. I don't see a governor on the platform. Mr. Mkhize, can you assist us there?
Okay, I will assist you.
Is there anyone standing in for the KZN Kokta other than Ms. Governor?
You may find they are there at the venue that we normally use, Chairperson. They must be attending physically there.
Even the NSCBD. They might be sitting there waiting for us and NSFAS. No, we did communicate that this meeting is on the virtual platform on the 9th. Mr. Mkhize, if we are not able to get to the other item, we'll come back later to them once you are liaising with their office. Can you just fly the agenda for us again? All right, honorable members, we're supposed to get that input from Kokta, KwaZulu-Natal, for that further information that you requested, and just the status in terms of they're implementing those issues we raised. If you're not able to go through, we can proceed. What happened is, you'll remember with the South African Express petition. Honorable member, just allow me to indulge my indulgence. We're gonna park item number 2, then we're gonna go to item number 3. With your indulgence, please, can I just get a thumbs up or somebody to confirm that I can proceed?
Yes, Chair, you may proceed to item number 3.
Thank you very much, Honorable. You will recall that the South African Express petition that we received regarding the issue of the. We had the minister, if you recall, the Minister of Transport, Honorable Barbara Creasy, who was joining us, and they made some presentation to us. And in the meeting, it also emerged that there's some more information that the committee must get to deal with the South African Express petition. One of the items that we say that we must get the business rescuers. You'll remember the business rescuers who were in charge of the South African Express. And later, there were even liquidators. There was a court process. So a lot was happening at this South African Express. But just to guide us as a committee, and so that we are doing things within the ambits of the law, because there are legal implications with the South African Express petitions. We then seek advice to say, let us get input from the parliamentary legal services. And they have drafted a piece for us, information. Unfortunately, Mr. Jenkins can't join us. But members, you received the pack, and Mr. Mkhize, I think, sent it sometime last week. And in that pack, there is a legal opinion that comes from the a legal.
Chair, your line is not good. If you can find a better space, you are breaking.
Just for practicality, Mr. Mkhize just flagged that document.
Chair.
From the parliamentary legal. I see there's a hand from somebody, MD.
Chair. I'm not MD, it's Nonkonyan.
Oh, okay. I think what I'll do, I'll switch off the video. It's also maybe eating the data here. I see before I see there's a hand from Honorable Nonkonyan. You can proceed, Honorable Nonkonyan.
Chair, good morning to you. Good morning to all members and everyone on the platform. No, Chair, I thought that you didn't hear Honorable Noah. Indeed, your line is not stable. If you can move to a stable network, it will be, because we'll keep on coming and going. But perhaps if you switch off your video, perhaps you'll be better. You can try that as well. Thank you. I just wanted to highlight that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I did switch off my video. I'm here at the parliamentary village. We know that we've got challenges at this side with our network. I hope now it's better. I see this. Maybe we'll just assist us there. You can proceed. MD.
Honorable Chairperson of the meeting, my warmest greetings to the honorable members and all parties in attendance. I am Ngosi from Utugela Water. I've joined the meeting, Chair Julie, for item 1 of the agenda. And I do realize, Chair, that you are proceeding to the next item from the component of Utugela Water. I have joined with the chairperson of the board. It may not be appropriate, Chair, for us to continue to participate in your meeting while you deal with other items which are not concerning us much as Utugela Water, while we honor your meeting for item 1 respectively. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Nkosi, you are spot on. As we've agreed with the committee that we proceed to item number 3, which is another petition that we're dealing with. I would then request that maybe you just excuse us. I really appreciate your effort to be part and parcel of this meeting. But what we'll do, because now we were not able to get the representatives from the KZN COCTA. If you can just indulge us, maybe get off from the platform now, and then we'll liaise with Mr. Mkhize with the office as well when we're dealing with a matter that is of concern to you. I think that is only proper. Unfortunately, now it is not from our doing. We don't have the representatives from KZN and COCTA, but I do believe Mr. Mkhize is in liaison with them so that when we deal with the item, they are back on the platform. Honorable Nonkonyan, I see your hand. You can proceed.
Yeah, Chair. I'm now reluctant to raise this because of major ruling, which I must respect. I was thinking that if there are inputs, can't we then hear their inputs and then adjourn that item until if that's not going to inconvenience them? I feel for them if their CEO as well as the chair of the board are there, perhaps maybe conflict. But if they are fine with your suggestion, I would have no problem because I was raising this hand before you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nkonyane. I also sympathize with you in that point. When somebody honors your invitation and honors your proceedings, it's only fair you give them the platform. The only things that we are receiving a further additional input from the KwaZulu-Natal Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, which is a key stakeholder in this petition. So we are not able to get Ms. Govender on the line. So that's why I was saying, let us maybe proceed to the other item, and then we'll deal with the SAMU petition later. And that's where the interest of MD and the chair, they are interested. Unfortunately, now we don't have the COGTA. So what I'm going to suggest they get off, we will communicate with them once we are dealing with that item, and they will join us again. I think that to save us time and also to proceed with the business of the committee. So MD, you are welcome to leave the platform and the chair of the board, and then we will put you back on once we have the representatives from KwaZulu-Natal COGTA. Members, we have received an opinion, a legal opinion from the Parliamentary Legal Services. You know that they assist committees and they assist Parliament in dealing with the business that is before Parliament. And we as a committee on petitions, we are an extension of the work of Parliament. Now here is the opinion that they've given us. I believe members have gone through. It will really guide us in terms of the work that we'll do. Just for procedure, Mr. Mkhize, can you just take us through this document? Because I know that the Advocate Jenkins can't join us this morning.
Yes, Chair. Advocate Jenkins will be joining us. I just want to check if it's on the platform. With your permission, Chair. Obviously, said he will be joining us.
Okay, just confirm for me, is he on the platform? I see there's a Parliamentary Legal Services, but the name is Katlego Buso on the platform. I don't know, is that the relevant official who will assist us?
I think he has joined us, Chair.
Yes. Can the Parliamentary Legal Services official who's assigned to assist us with this item just take us through the legal opinion? It will assist this committee moving forward. Anybody from the legal services who's going to take us through?
Advocate has joined us, Chair. Advocate Jenkins has joined us.
Good morning, Advocate. Thank you for joining the Select Committee on Public Petitions and Executive Undertakings. Our committee has reached out to your office to assist us to process the petition we are dealing with as this committee. We've received from a petitioner regarding the South African Express petition. There's issues, particularly at the center of this petition is regarding their pensions payout. A number of officials, we've been told, they haven't gotten what is due to them. While we're dealing with this petition, we also informed that there's a number of legal issues that has taken place with the South African Express. And one of the issues that were at the center is that the organization was put on business rescue and later it was then liquidated. So there's a number of legal issues, and I believe there's also a court case that is also taking place. So we wanted to get a legal opinion from Parliamentary Legal Services to guide and to assist the committee in processing this petition. So I believe that you prepared a legal opinion, and today we're giving the platform to present this legal opinion to the committee and to all the committee members. I'm going to hand over to you to take us through the legal opinion. Over to you, Dr. Jenkins.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honourable Chairperson. I appreciate that. And first of all, my apologies for logging on late. I got here and I had some trouble with my computer to get the right link to open up. Chairperson, secondly, thank you very much for affording our office additional time. The request initially was rather urgent over a weekend, and I asked for some extension on that so we can consider the matter properly. And I appreciate that the committee indulge us with that, and I thank you very much for that. Chair, the question that we dealt with in the opinion is a rather straightforward one, if I can call it that. It is, what should the committee do given the situation with South African Express and the court cases that have actually gone into provisional liquidation now? So Chair, I think there's two parts of this matter. The first is the issue of business rescue, which is done in terms of the Companies Act. And the business rescue practitioners are appointed by the court to then take over the business of the company. So in other words, they take the place of management of that company and take the day-to-day decisions, as well as the board. The board cannot, they don't account to the board anymore. They can notify them anymore, but they account to court. The whole purpose is to set out a plan so that the business can be rescued, as the name implies. So, Chair, that's one part of it, and it's not if I may say that, it's not necessarily a political process, it's a legal process. So although, as we saw in the court case that dealt with this, that even the main shareholder of South African Express, namely the government, was not very happy that the business rescue practitioners couldn't really rescue the company and that they'd rather go to court to get provisional liquidation. That is a legal question that the court will consider. It's not a political question. So that's the one side of it. And what has happened is that they have, as I understand it, they have now gone to court to get provisional liquidation, and that has been, I think it's been granted to them. So, Chair, what must the committee do given that fact, that now that we've received the petition, calling on the committee to intervene in certain matters that was part of that business rescue, namely the payment of certain salaries and pensions? Now, Chair, that issue is something specifically set out in the Constitution, where a committee of Parliament, whether it's the NCOP or the NA, can receive petitions as well as other submissions. And if they want submissions, they can also compel such submissions to be made. And the first time this really featured in a court case was Doctors for Life, where the court said it's not only a right of Parliament to receive petitions, it's an obligation to facilitate public involvement. And the obligation to facilitate public involvement also is fulfilled by receiving petitions and dealing with. So the point I'm trying to make there, Chair, is that the committee has a legal obligation or a constitutional mandate to consider this petition. Now, notwithstanding what has happened in the court case around business rescue, this committee can still consider the petition, request the business rescue practitioners or the departments to account to it in the sense of what was done regarding the pension payouts and salary payouts of staff that were affected by the provisional liquidation that South African Express received. So the committee can certainly continue with it. Whether the committee wants to consider the merits of the business rescue or not is up to the committee, but that's not really what the petition is asking. So what the petition is asking is actually for the committee to, notwithstanding that, to go into the operations of what happened during that time, to find out whether there was an obligation to pay, as the petition is claiming, and whether that was paid, and if it was not paid, what was done and what can be done to remedy the situation, and then to submit a report to the NCOP on that matter. So Chair, the manner to consider the petition, I think committee members will be better versed in this than I am. But as you are aware, one can call the petitioners to make a submission, one can call the department or the business rescue practitioners to give further input, or even advertise to ask whether there are other people also affected by the same situation. So, Chair, let me leave it there. Chair, I want to just, before I hand over to you, just say to the committee, my colleague, Mr. Katlego Buso, is in the meeting. He did the groundwork on that opinion. I want to thank him for that. I'm not sure if he wants to add anything. And that's it from our side, Chair. Katlego, do you want to add anything on that opinion, more of the details?
Thank you very much, Advocate Jenkins. I did see a Katlego Mbuso on the platform. We'll gladly appreciate the work, and thank you also for adhering to our call. Katlego Mbuso, if you are able to add from what Advocate Jenkins just highlighted to us, over to you. We give you this opportunity just to add maybe some technical issues that you want to highlight to the committee. Over to you.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning, Chairperson and members of the committee. Maybe one or two things which are really a technical nature to this opinion. Is just to add to what the acting chief legal advisor has said. If members could, their attention be drawn to Rule 214 of the NCOP rules, which provides for the functions of the Select Committee on Petitions in respect of petitions, and these would include, of course, the referral of this particular subject matter of the petition to the executive or a particular government department or any other administrative agency for further.
Recording stopped.
And in addition, a committee may recommend to the council, or rather to the House, any course of action which it deems fit and proper in this.
Chair, on a point of order, in a way, I hear that it has been stopped. There's a machine saying the proceeding has stopped recording. Why?
Thank you very much, Honorable Nonkonyana. Technical team, can you make sure that we continue with the recording? This is an official meeting of Parliament, and it must be on record. Can I get confirmation? My apologies, Mr. Mkize and Mr. Mbuso, for that interruption. We need to record these proceedings. It must be recorded. Thank you for that, Honorable Nonkonyana. Can we get confirmation that you are recording the meeting?
Okay, if I may, Chair.
Yes, you can proceed.
According
Mr.
to my
Mkize.
side, the meeting is being recorded.
Is it still being recorded?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Mbuso, you can proceed.
Okay, no, thank you, Chairperson. As I've alluded that the committee is actually obligated by the rules to consider and report on petitions referred to it by the Chairperson of the NCOP. Further to this is that the subject matter of the petition, as already indicated, and the committee may be aware, it relates to the liquidation of SA Express following a court order. And it is on this particular point that the committee has sought guidance from legal services. As it stands, because the court has already concluded its necessary processes, there exists no legal or otherwise impediment to the committee proceeding with the consideration of this particular petition. So therefore, the committee, we really advise that the committee may proceed with the petition in line with the powers conferred upon it by Rule 214. However, we must stress out at this point that it must do so cautious of unintentionally giving itself powers which are belonging to other arms of state. If one pays a particular attention to some of the demands which are being made by the petitioner. In other words, what we are saying is that while the committee can recommend to the House certain course of action in respect of its powers, it cannot make a commitment on behalf of government on what the government must do in relation to the demands of the petitioners. It's only these points that I wanted the committee to be taken into cognizance when it's considering this particular matter.
Recording in progress.
Thank you very much to the official, Katlego Mbuso, for that. Mr. Mkize, please, we keep on hearing recording and recording stopping. we want us to make sure that everything is done accordingly. Let us please, those who are in the technical unit and IT, please assist us. We cannot have this stop and record. It does not work like that. Please, I'm urging you to the IT people to not disrupt this meeting. Please, when we record, you record from the beginning. We don't record and we stop, and then we record, we stop. We record the entire meeting. It cannot happen like this, please. Thank you very much to Advocate Jenkins and the official, Mbuso from the legal union, legal services, for that. It's really assisting this committee moving forward. I'm going to open now to honorable members, given what we've received from the legal service of Parliament in terms of how we proceed with this petition. Members can just then be able to share their opinions and questions. I note the hand of Honorable Nonkonyana. Is there any other member who wants clarity seeking questions from the Legal Services Unit? I see the hand of Honorable Noe. I've got those two hands. I'm going to hand over to Honorable Nonkonyana. Over to you, Honorable Member.
Yeah, Chair and honorable members, can I be allowed to switch off my video? Thank you.
Proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think, Chair, let's thank the office of the Chief Parliamentary Legal Advice Services for a very concise and clear opinion. I must say I was worried when I was reading their paragraph 25 of their conclusion, when it is recorded that we advise that the committee is empowered by the Constitution and rules to consider this petition from perspective of its mandate by inviting the affected persons and, if necessary, recommend a fit and proper course of action as prescribed by the rules. I've just heard from the acting chief parliamentary advisor that we are not restricted to affected persons. That was my worry. In his oral submission, I think he addressed me. I would like him to confirm exactly that. It's precisely because when we go back to I think it's paragraph with the footnote 1, I think it's paragraph 4 of background. There is reference to a case of Ziegler, South Africa, Pty Limited, against South African Express Airways. If the members can just have a regard to the footnote there, particularly towards the end, I'm not going to read it all. I think the last sentence there reads, the court noted the significance of none of the affected persons opposing the application, including the government, as ministers of finance and public enterprises were cited as the second and third respondent respectfully. Sorry, Chair. Then, to me, one, there are two things here that we needed to consider in terms of our oversight responsibility, with which I agree with the opinion. To have regard to these ministers, finance and public, why they did not oppose this application. To me, we need to find out whether it would not be appropriate in the circumstances of this case to subpoena them to explain. I know that the Department of Public Enterprises may not exist anymore, but I'm sure that function is somewhere. So clearly, I would love if they could actually advise whether it will not be appropriate to to also subpoena them to really clarify on this matter. And also to enlighten us whether they did perform the due diligence in the appointment of Mr. Teblanche and Kono as business rescue, as you, Chair, and even the legal advice that were given. The rationale behind appointing the business rescuer is to rescue, not to go to court and to liquidate. I find it somewhat odd, but legalistically, I hear them when they say, well, they need not consult, but they were appointed as rescue practitioners to rescue the things, instead of actually not consulting the people that mandated them, that appointed them. They just simply go to court because the act just empowers them to do as they please. To me, it is somewhat odd, and hence there's a need to really dig deeper in our oversight in respect of this. Why did that happen? Perhaps also these rescue, the rescue practitioners be summoned also to further elucidate this, because the money of the state of taxpayers have been actually spent it on paying them get, or paying their lawyers that they instructed to go to court to liquidate instead of rescuing the entity, which has affected, of course, the employees, and which is the nub of this petition. And clearly, Chair, other than that, I'm really pleased with the manner in which our legal services have provided an advice. I think, to me, they really give us that we've got a right to summon everyone present in line with the submission by the acting chief legal advisor, as I've indicated. Thank you, Chair. That's all I want to say here.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nonkonyana, for that input. I see the hand of Honorable Noe still up. Honorable Noe, over to you.
Chair, I did show my face earlier on. Well, I can leave it because I don't have a problem of connectivity. Good morning, Chair, to you and colleagues, honorable members and staff. I'm in line, Chair, with the input of Honorable Nonkonyan. Mine was specifically around the reaction of government in as far as the liquidation process is concerned, as the main shareholder of the entity. So I actually agree in total with him that that is an area that we need to receive or to be informed about, so that whatever recommendations that we do, we also hear the side of the main shareholder as far as this is concerned. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nonkonyan. Is there any other member? All right, noting.
No, that was Honorable Noe.
Yeah, Chair. I agree. Nonkonyan Noe, but a little bit closer. We forgive you.
All right. Thank you very much, members. Thank you very much, Honorable Noe. You know, the whip is in my head every time. That's why the name came about. But honorable members, thank you very much for those inputs. Mine also have developed a summary in terms of that. What came out clearly from the legal services, because that's the gist and my interest, there is nothing stopping us to get any persons to come and account to this committee. Parliament has got the power to subpoena, and clearly we've got a green light. There's the summary that I got from the legal opinion to say the committee can proceed. And this also includes the business rescue practitioners. For me, they are very key stakeholders in terms of course, they were administering all the operations and the finances of the organization. So what I also gauged from the opinion, we have a green light to proceed with that. And when notwithstanding what the honorable member said, extend it also to the relevant government representatives in the persons of the finance, and we know that public enterprises is no more, but those functions are some of those officials are still within the employ of government. So there's nothing stopping us to get the additional information from those relevant parties. And Dr. Jenkins, I'm going to give it to you in terms of to confirm what the members have just said, and then we'll proceed. Advocate Jenkins, if you can just make those inputs.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much for that. Chair, I think the first question, let me confirm that, yes, the committee is free to call not just the affected persons. Notwithstanding that's not what we intended with that last paragraph. So it's don't take it too literal, that one, but yes, certainly the committee can call the stakeholders, which include the shareholder.
I don't know, is it my side, but Advocate Jenkins, you seem to be cut. Maybe you can just switch off your video. It really helps with the bandwidth. If you can just switch off the video.
And yes, the public enterprises we'll deal with often is that can we call a CEO that has resigned to find out what happened during the tenure of that CEO? And yes, we have good precedent for that. We've called various former CEOs, former ministers, to give evidence to Parliament about decisions taken during their tenure, and it happens outside Parliament as well. So one can call whoever can provide information for the committee. If the committee has the question before it, why was there no opposition to the application by the business rescue practitioners to put South African Express in a provisional liquidation? Then certainly, Chair, that question can then be looked at by calling all the relevant people who could have maybe made an impact on it and who didn't. Simply for the committee, of course, to understand as well why certain decisions were taken. Was there a prospect of success? Was there something else that could have been done? And Chair, secondly, it would be important because it's a state-owned entity that became financially distressed and then could not be saved. There are a few of these examples, as you're aware, and one can probably see that when we'll get further petitions in this line or different petitions, but there are a few entities that are having difficulties remaining what is called a going concern. In other words, a company that can make profit to pay its debts so that it doesn't have to get what is commonly referred to as bailouts. So Chair, there are those two good reasons to call whoever can give information to the committee, not just the affected persons. So Chair, that I'm just looking at the questions that was the first. I think that was the main question. And from there, one can carry on and then make conclusions or recommendations, because this is I would imagine it's a very important part of the economic history of South Africa where we are now, with the SOEs having difficulties. And then, there's certain ideologies, Chair, and I'm going a bit off script here, that says let the court take its role. But one must remember there are employees that are being affected, people who are losing jobs, and I don't want to sound like a trade unionist, but it is a fact. They lose their jobs, families are suddenly without an income, and they can't pay their bond, and they end up not having a roof over their head. So it is an important thing just for the committee to investigate that. Chair, I think that those are the nub of the questions. I don't know if there's anything else I've left out which I can then address. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenkins, for that input. Indeed, the gist of what is this petition is the cry from those former employees. And I think we need accountability, and we're empowered as a committee to further get additional inputs. And I think maybe to assist the committee moving forward, members will just fall in line with that to say, now that we've given a green light to proceed, it will form part of our top agenda items for the another term when we come back next year, that we conclude on this matter, but not to close any door. Get as much information so that when we report to the NCOP, we give a comprehensive a report, and not something that will come back and say, but you didn't invite us to give input. Honorable members, I think we have exhausted this item, and then that we can resolve to say, let us proceed with calling the business rescuers, but not to close the door to the affected parties. And I think Honorable Nonkonyana and Honorable Noe captured it perfectly. Is there any other item that members want to indulge on this matter before we proceed to the other item? If there's none, members, we will proceed then to deal with this item as part of our priority when we reconvene next year, and then we'll make sure that we invite all the relevant parties to give those inputs, and then we will deliberate further on this petition. Mr. Mkiza, did you manage to get the COCTA KZN?
Okay, I'm being told that Honorable Kati, that the DDG will be joining us, but I haven't seen his name here on our list. The DDG.
Yes, the DDG, but let's confirm for them before we proceed now to the SAMU petition from KZN. KZN is keeping us busy.
I have confirmed with them. They're saying he's part of this meeting, but I don't see his name. I don't know, maybe he goes with another name. I don't know, Chair. But it's Dr.
Dr.
Katide.
Katide, are you on the platform? Maybe we can get a response. All right, well, you sort out that one. And Dr. Jenkins, I just want to say thank you to you from the legal services, you and your team, Frank Jenkins and the official Katlego Buso. We really thank you for that opinion you've given us and assisting this committee. You are welcome to offload from the platform to continue with your other. I know the legal services unit, you are kept busy given the nature of our work. You are more than welcome to leave the platform because we are doing now other items. But thank you very much, Awake Jenkins, for your assistance and for giving us that opinion for this committee.
Thank you, Chairperson. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Mkiza, so long you can reflect the agenda again. Fly the agenda on the screen. Mr. Mkize, can you fly the agenda for us? I know your hands are busy in the background trying to get officials.
Okay, sure. Okay. My apology, Chair. I was on the phone with the officials from COCTA. I will share the agenda with you, Chair.
Okay. Are they going to join us?
They are saying that they are joining us now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can just also inform the Utukela officials as well, Nkosi and the chair of the board, that they are welcome to join us again. And I will apologize again to them for the on and off that we are receiving.
Noted on that.
Members, I'm just going to give us about a minute break. Not a break actually, but just to allow the other team to join us. So don't mind the silence. We just need about a minute and a half to allow everybody to join us. The agenda is going to be flighted. Mr. Mkhize, fly the agenda for us again. We're struggling to get hold of the KZN Cocta to join us. They keep on saying they will join, but we don't see them on the platform. Mr. Mkhize, can you fly the agenda for us?
Chair.
Honorable Noe?
Chair, I hear you regarding the struggle to get hold of KZN Cocta. I think, Chair, this must be considered in a very, very serious light. If they indeed confirmed that they will be attending this meeting and this kind of conduct and behavior, it is unacceptable to Parliament that responsible officials of the department having confirmed to attend the meeting of Parliament, and then we are subjected to this kind of a conduct. It must be objected with the strongest terms it deserves. This is unacceptable, and I think, Chair, there must be a letter written to the MEC of the department. This is unacceptable. We have put time aside to make sure that the business of the Parliament is attended to today, and then officials, this is what they are doing to Parliament. It's unacceptable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Noe. That point is sustained, and I really fully agree with you. And communication has gone out. We cannot be held in limbo. This meeting is live, and we cannot be having a back and forth, moving and jumping agenda items as if we don't understand ourselves. Mr. Mkhize, can you confirm the last time I'm giving this opportunity? Otherwise, we are going to refer.
Chair, I think Governor, Ms. Governor, she has joined us.
Okay. Ms. Governor, if you have joined us, we are really, really disappointed. And we are raising the concern that we know the meeting has started. We had to put some people off, move and jump between agenda items. It's not supposed to be like that. We're not doing this for ourselves. It's not our playground. This is a serious business of Parliament. And members have put time in their diaries to attend to the business of Parliament. We can't be held at ransom when members are here on the platform and officials are dragging their feet. Honorable members, we are dealing it now with the item of KZN cocktails. We have them on the platform. Mr. Mkhize, did you also tell the guys from Utukela that they can rejoin the meeting? Ms. Governor, we really take great exception to this conduct. It cannot be like that. It cannot be like that. I'm going to hand over to you. Honorable members, we are dealing with item number 2. Mr. Mkhize, can you fly the agenda? So that we are following proceedings. We are going back to the SAMU petition, and we're going to be receiving the further input from KwaZulu-Natal Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. The responsible official I'm made to believe is Ms. Govender. I'm going to give you this opportunity, this golden opportunity to present to us. Don't take it for granted. Over to you, Ms. Govender.
Greetings, Honorable Chair and members of the committee. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. You can proceed.
Thank you, honorable members. Firstly, let me profusely apologize. I think there was some sort of miscommunication, not between the Honorable members and secretariat, but perhaps within the department, and I must profusely apologize for that.
Recording stopped.
This in no way.
Just hold on, Ms. Govender. Mr. Mkisa, what is happening with the recording? Why do you stop the recording? I did raise this matter earlier on, and Honorable Nonkonyan also raised it. We cannot have this
Recording
stop.
in progress.
This must stop. Please, whoever is in charge of the technical unit in the background, please stop this thing of stopping the recording and starting it again. Please, can you stop this? Whoever you are who are doing this thing, can you stop it? Please. Apologies, Ms. Governor, you can proceed.
Thank you for that, Chair. I was in the process of apologizing profusely. I must say that even at this late stage, I was asked to join now, and there may have been, or there was, miscommunication, I think, even within the department itself in terms of who was all required and what was required. So I must apologize for that. Please in no way take it as a sign of any disrespect to this honorable committee. And we are really serious and committed towards dealing with matters of this nature. But let me profusely apologize for this on behalf of the department, noting that the DDG would have been the one to lead in this meeting, Honorable Chair. But also in terms of the presentation that is required from our side, I think at the outset and in the meeting that was held in October, we did present the entire report, and a copy of the report was also requested, which was
You are now fading away, Ms.
Provide-
Govender. We are missing you now.
And we did take the questions of the report in relation to the scope of the investigation. The municipality, we are having connectivity issues. Am I audible?
Ms. Governor, you keep coming and going, and I see your video is off. Just try to be in a stable environment. Because you keep coming and you fade away.
Chair, I'm in a very stable environment. I'm in the office. Unfortunately, I think it's the network issue. It's an issue of the network, and there's nothing much I can do on my side, either to join on a phone or the laptop. But currently, I'm utilizing the network in the office. So please do indicate if I do go out of range. But as I indicated at the last sitting, we did present the report. We informed the committee of the detailed findings that were in the report based on the scope of investigation, which was put together based on allegations that were made regarding the conduct of senior officials at Utukela Water, as well as procurement issues and other misconduct. We then tabled what the recommendations that were made, and subsequently the Utukela Water then was given an opportunity to provide an update in terms of where are we at with regard to implementing the findings of the report. I think as a department, we also raised the issue that there was some delay in terms of putting action to implementing that report by Utukela Water. But we did confirm that indeed there was communication between ourselves and meetings, in fact, where the report was tabled with the shareholder municipalities as well as the board members. So from our side, Chair, I'm not sure what more perhaps that we can provide as an update, other than to say that we were only privy to that update. In fact, even in that meeting and at that stage, it was perhaps the best and the most conclusive and detailed update we had ever received from Untitled Water regarding the implementation of the report. But we are in the hands of the honorable members, and we are here to assist and we are here to cooperate. So going forward, Chair, we will see what is it that is required of us then further with regard to supporting the implementation of the recommendations of the report. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Ms. Govender, and we note your apology. Additional, I'm going to hand over to the DDG, Dr. Katide, to add and shed more light in terms of what you just presented to the committee. Over to you, Dr. Katide.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will not waste your time. Already, I think you have been lenient with us, but I just wanted to confirm and tender the apology from the ministry. There have been some glitches in terms of the schedule and the calendar for the MEC. Yesterday at EXCO, we noted that this was not prioritized on the calendar for the MEC, and I did remind the Office of the HOD, of which they accepted that it was an oversight from themselves. After the meeting, I did check again to say, is ministry aware that the MEC will have to be here? And unfortunately, Dr. Malembe was not aware at all. But this morning, she called me to confirm if the meeting is going ahead. I told her that we are still waiting for the ministry because we don't have hours just to attend without their approval. So he came back just a few minutes ago after I'm fighting with my team because they ended up liaising with Mr. Mkize from your portfolio, Chair. And I was fighting with her to say, how come she accepted and received the link when the link is supposed to have been sent directly to the ministry? And to avoid the confusion, we've got our own protocols that we observe, because I didn't want the ministry to say, I'm setting up an itinerary for the MEC. It's them who should tell us in terms of the protocol. It's only then when my PA liaised with the ministry to say, Aibo, check your emails, liaise with parliamentary liaison officer. This email and the link was sent on Friday to all of us. Now, for you to suggest that this meeting is not taking place, it's something that I don't think it should be accepted by the members of Parliament and the NSO. So on that note, Chair, I think he thereafter apologized and also extended the apology that it got into his spam, and as a result, it was filled, because I was interacting with him yesterday through the WhatsApps as well. He was really not aware and he could not remember the meeting. So on that note, Chair and the members, we wish to extend the apology on behalf of the MEC, as well as the inconveniences that have been created right now. But we were ready from our side. We were just waiting for the call to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Katide, for that input with Ms. Govender. Honorable members, just for the process of progress, you've got that information. Remember, we also got that entire report when members demanded at our previous meeting that we get the entire report that the department had, and members were given that a report. I hope that maybe members, if there are clarity seeking questions or issues that you still want to flag with COCTA, will afford you. But I want to give over also to the MD for Mutugela, including the chair, when they are here, just to make now further inputs, because you remember that they couldn't even give us detailed information at that meeting, and they requested that maybe in our next session they will be able to clarify some of these issues emanating from the petition. I'm now going to hand over to Untitled Water and then they will just take us through. MD, I know you are here. You will just take us through, and I know the chairperson of the board is also with us in this meeting. And once again, my apologies for earlier to take you off on the platform. We couldn't get hold of the KZN COCTA, but they have since reconvened and rejoined us. I'm going to hand over now to Utugela to take us through the additional information. Thank you very much. MD, I'm passing the mic over to you. Ntate Nkosi.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chairperson of the meeting, the members, my colleague, Dr. Katide, all parties present in our meeting. I believe I'm audible, Chair.
You are loud and clear. We can hear you. If you don't have bandwidth issues, maybe just to show your video, your face, then we are more than welcome to switch off again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. We were done with our presentation in the last session, except for matters where the committee will need some pieces of evidence, but insofar as the presentation and responding is concerned, we fully responded with the slides that we presented. And in cases where the committee will need on specific matters some pieces of evidence, we are at liberty to provide that, Chair. But we were more awaiting questions from the committee, because at the time when we adjourned, I believe you were to move to a question and answer session, because the applicants had presented and we had duly responded. So, Chairperson, with due respect, we are at liberty to provide anything you may require, moving from where we left off when we visited you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, MD, for that input and for availing yourself once again. Just guide us through. Is the chair also able to add to what you've just submitted? The chair of the board, we also afford you the opportunity. If there's something that you think might be missing or you deem is important for our committee, I'm giving this opportunity to you to put anything to this committee. Over to you. Ntate Mpela, are you with us?
Oh, good morning, honorable members and the chairperson. Honorable Chair, I have nothing much to add from what the MD has just put before the House. So we will be guided, of course, by the House Chair going forward with this matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate the chair of the board of the Utugela Water. We really appreciate that. Honorable members, these were the additional issues that were brought to us. We've got COCTA here. They've made their input. We also have the Utugela district. We also have the board and through the person of the chair and the MD. We want to draw the attention of the committee members that we are almost wrapping up this petition, and we'll be developing a comprehensive report regarding the SAMU petition from KZN. And then this report will be tabled in the House, in the NCOP, with the committee recommendations for implementation. I want to afford the honorable members the opportunity. If there's additional information that you will request, we've got the stakeholders with us, and they are willing, as we had, to provide any information that the committee members would like to get from them. With a show of hands, honorable members, I'm going to note you, and then we'll afford you the opportunity to ask any additional information. Honorable members, this is your opportunity to indulge with the Utukelam Water, as well as KwaZulu-Natal Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. I'm noting the hands of Honorable Billy from KZN and then Honorable Nowhere from the Free State. Those are the two members that I have. Over to you, Honorable Billy. You can proceed.
Yeah, I'm really battling with my connection. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
We can hear you. You can proceed. You don't have to switch your video. We understand. You can proceed, Honorable Billy.
Thank you. I'm in the rural part of KZN. I'm not even sure if how long I'll be able to have the connection. Chairperson, greetings to yourself again and to the honorable members and the officials who have joined us for this meeting. Chair, maybe let me start by saying that my understanding
Recording
was that
stopped.
Honorable members, Honorable Billy, my apology for that. I'm taking great exception to this technical issue. We can't proceed when this recording is stopped. Mr. Mkhize?
Maybe you just to make a suggestion.
Okay.
If maybe you can be the host of the meeting, because only a host is able to record and not record. I'm not sure how that is.
Recording in progress.
Honorable, you can proceed. Don't worry. I'll deal with this matter now.
Chairperson, I'm sorry. It's Honorable Gotzel.
Honorable Gotzel?
This meeting is descending into chaos, and it's very worrying that a recording cannot be run without interruption. Please, can I urge you to take this up with the management of Parliament, because I'm really very concerned at the way in which this meeting is run, not by yourself, but by the parliamentary staff.
Honorable Gotzel, thank you for that. I'm dealing with the matter. I'm also greatly concerned that what's happening in this meeting, but we're definitely taking this issue up. Honorable Billy, you can proceed.
No, Chair, maybe let me just go straight to the questions that I have. I'd like to know the verified status of the implementation of the 2019 Section 106 1B forensic report recommendations, and what independent verification has COGTA or the shareholder municipalities conducted to confirm completion rather than relying on self-assessment of the board. I think we had this discussion, Chair, and I think one of the reasons we had to reconvene was purely because of some of this. So it's important to know. I hear that for some reason the report was never implemented, but I think it's important for Parliament to understand from both COGTA and the shareholder municipalities as to why it was never implemented, or if it has been implemented, to what extent has sections of this been implemented, and what is the current status of those recommendations. The second part to this, Chairperson, in the last meeting we heard that officials either resigned or they left who were implicated. But I think we also agreed that it can't just be, people resign and they take the easy way out before facing disciplinary action. I think one of them was Mr. P.S. Naidu, Mr. Kuna, because those officials are still needed to be held accountable for the alleged corruption, fraud, and maladministration. Now, I want to understand what steps have been taken by COGTA and the Utogala Water Board to ensure that officials who resigned before facing those disciplinary actions, they are still held accountable. And the second last part, Chairperson, that I want to maybe get to, we know that there were monies lost, and it would be nice to hear, as to why the board has not recovered or referred, perhaps, Chairperson, for recovery, irregular and wasteful expenditure, especially when it comes to bonuses and the monies paid to Kuna and associates, and under what authority were certain irregular expenditures written off, without the Treasury or the AG's approval. It's important to understand that. And the last part, Chair, that I want to ask to maybe get some clarity on, all this thing has been done, these things have happened. What has COCTA done, or the board, in referring all the matters of fraud, especially VAT evasion, corruption identified in the forensic report, to law enforcement agencies, SAPS, Hawks, NPA, SARS, as required under Section 34 of the PRECA and the MFMA? What has been done? Has that been done? If not, why hasn't it been done? Let me end it there for now, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy, for those comprehensive questions that you wanted clarity on. And I know that the relevant stakeholders will be able to respond to that. Honorable Noe, are you able to take the mic? Honorable Noe, from again. All right. Whilst we're waiting, Honorable Noe, the officials, can you respond then to the questions and clarity from Honorable Billy? I'm going to start with KZN COCTA, then we're going to go to the Utukela Water. Over to you, KZN COCTA.
I would have loved Chital to respond on this, but just to give a prelim, I know she will be caught off guard. I think our role as COCTA is limited by the legislation. Ours is to support municipalities. Of course, we are correct to monitor them in terms of Section 155 of the Constitution. That is a question, I think, which is directly leveled against us, just to say what is it that we did to monitor. But with Section 106, it's a little bit dicey because once we develop recommendations out of the findings and present it to council, we normally expect the municipalities to provide us update on a monthly basis. And we have got a mechanism, whether through the state of local government report that we compile, or through the quarterly reports that we submit to the Honorable MEC, which keep track of all Section 106, so that we can identify those that they have not submitted the closeout report in terms of the recommendations, or those that are still lacking in terms of concluding the processes that we would have recommended to those municipalities. But the point of contention is we are still struggling with the powers that are vested to us to say, what if the municipalities don't implement? We have had a number of experiences like that. Some of them will say we are challenging these matters in court. Others, they will not even provide reports or progress. And as a result, we will keep flagging them on our quarterly reports. But I think in the absence of the enforceable powers, I think we have been struggling over the years. But I'm happy to report that we, the MEC directed that let's review that alone and start developing our provincial law, which will have more powers, give us more powers, so that even if we are challenged in court as to say what role are we playing, because the legislation says we have got to make sure that we conduct the investigation and ensure that the recommendations, it doesn't speculate as to how that should happen. So we have looked at all these processes within the draft bill that we have submitted to the Premier. And they are still observing it. They'll come back to us in January with the comments before we can take it to Cabinet and to Parliament for gazetting. So we have been grappling with this challenge. It's not only this municipality, but it's the rest of the municipalities within the province. But if I've omitted anything, I think Shital can add.
Thank you, Dr. Katide. Over to you, Ms. Govender.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So let me deal with the specific questions raised by Honorable Bali. In terms of the independent verification and the delays, I think DDG Katide has given you a general sort of view about what we experience in terms of implementation by municipalities, whether it is through a legal challenge or delaying tactics. So there are formal challenges and then there are informal challenges. And honorable members, I think more often than not, you'll find yourself facing those informal challenges. And they're not taking the matter to court, but there is passive aggressive sort of behavior where the municipality or the entity will delay in whichever way they can the implementation of these reports. And I say passive aggressive, honorable members, because when you take the report, whether it's to the board or whether to the municipalities or to the councils or the mayors or the executive committees, you go and present and they resolve and they agree that, yes, we will implement the report. But then starts the tactics where it'll take time for them to put together an implementation plan. In fact, when the MEC takes a report to municipalities, it is accompanied by a letter, and that letter requires the municipalities to, within 21 days, revert to the MEC with a resolution of council, together with an implementation plan with clear activities and timelines as to who will do what by when in relation to each recommendation of the report. And that is never forthcoming. And if it's forthcoming, it is after the delay and after the lapse of a lot of time. But that being said, in relation to Utukela water, I do know that there was considerable delay. The municipalities concerned were not even sure at one stage as to what was required of them, the shareholder municipalities. We had to engage each and every one of them, and we did so even subsequent to tabling the report with them. I personally convened meetings, even via Teams, with the municipal managers of each municipality to say, this is what is required of you. This is what we need you to do. You need to sit down. You need to look at what are the decisions that you need to take in relation to the board, and then the board members need to take decisions in relation to Utukela water, and steps need to be taken in relation to consequence management. So we were very clear in terms of what was required. I think an issue here, or the issue generally, is an issue of commitment and appetite to implement these reports. And sometimes it's deliberately so that we allow, and that goes to the second very critical issue that Honorable Bali raised, they allow those implicated time to find their spaces wherever they can and then leave. So in my view, these delaying tactics, it's not unique to Kela Water. It is actually prevalent in almost every instance where we table reports, unless there's appetite to deal with the recommendations of the report. So far as it relates to an independent verification, yes, we will definitely now going forward, because Honorable Billy, when we received the detailed update, it was only the first instance in October 2025 that such a detailed update was provided. And we will undertake to this committee that we will provide and undertake that detailed verification. And in order to confirm and close off on our side the implementation of those recommendations. In relation to those officials who have resigned and left the employ of the institution, the Systems Amendment Act and the Systems Act provides for this very same issue that is raised by Honorable Billy. Unfortunately, it talks to municipal officials, and it does not talk to the officials of municipal entities. I stand to be corrected by DDGs in the meeting, so maybe he can assist further, but it does not extend to officials or employees of entities. But in terms of the Systems Act and the regulations that were promulgated, where officials resign in municipalities prior to their matters being finalized and prior to being dismissed, there is a database which the National Minister of DCOG is now maintaining of such officials. And there is discussions, or there are discussions that are underway, so that that is talking towards having this database available to government as a whole, so that we are alerted in advance of who these officials are who escape disciplinary action or consequence management and jump ship to another institution, so that we also be mindful of the fact that this must touch municipal entities as it touches municipalities as well. But for now, Honorable Billy, unfortunately, this issue of recycling of individuals is prevalent. You will find that someone who is implicated in a forensic report today is given the space of 3 months to find his home somewhere else, and there's no action taken. And the person then is found in another government department 3 months later or 4 months later, even a provincial department for that matter. So if you're from Umaspala, you're moving to province, whatever, or other way around, I'm not sure. But it is a plague that is plaguing the space of forensic investigations. There are moves, as I indicated, and there is legislation that is assisting in that regard. I'm saying that perhaps in this instance, we need to make sure that it also deals with officials who leave entities and not just municipalities. But for now, Honorable Member, it is what it is. There is nothing that prevents them from escaping. And once you leave the employ of an entity or an institution, whether a municipal entity, municipality, provincial department, whatever, you are then immune from being disciplined in any form. You can't discipline someone who's not in the employ of your institution. That does not prevent the institution, however, from taking other corrective steps. If that person has caused any form of UIFW, because the MFMA is there, the MFMA requires entities and municipalities, I know municipalities in terms of Section 32 and entities as well, to ensure that they take steps towards investigating and recovering irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, so from whomever may have caused that expenditure. So even if you have left the employ of the entity or the municipality, it is expected or required that institutions then recover what they have lost as a result of the conduct of that official. So you may not be able to discipline him, but you may still be able to implement some sort of corrective measure so that that person doesn't escape liability for what they have caused in the institution. In terms of monies lost, I think I'll leave the issue of implementing Section 32, the MFMA, to the board and to perhaps the chief executive. From our side, yes, the legislation is there, Honorable Billy, and it's very clear as to what is the statutory obligation of an entity and a municipality in terms of recovering and investigating UIFW. It must also be, there is an accounting side of it, and it must be noted as such in the financials as well. In terms of fraud, corruption, and maladministration, Honorable Billy, really, again, a critical point in terms of PRECA. PRECA requires you in terms of Section 34 to report corruption. But there again, you know, it's very important to look at the letter of the law, because the letter of the law is talking specifically to corruption and forms of corruption. And corruption is such a specific thing, whereas in the report you'll find misconduct, and in the report you'll have an indication of some sort of irregularity that would have happened in terms of procurement. Unfortunately, if we are unable to prove corruption in the report, because corruption is a very specific offense and it talks to some form of gratification that is received, and there's elements of that offense. So in the event that you don't find that specific offense and you don't prove that specific offense or make a finding in relation to corruption, then I think it escapes Section 34 of PRECA. Nonetheless, where there are issues of criminality and where the report makes recommendation that it must be reported to SAPS or SARS, then that must be done by the entity. And then the entity must then advise as to whether that was done or not. In terms of the report and where it would have been submitted, I do recall then at one stage the report was also provided to the Auditor General subsequent to tabling the report in the municipality. And if I'm not mistaken, that was around 2021, but I will confirm the exact details of that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Govender. Unfortunately, there were instances where you left us, but I think the members have got the gist of your input. I'm going to hand over to the board. Honorable Noah, just hold the board. Honorable Noah, I see you are back. I'm not sure. I noted your hand earlier on. Do you want to proceed?
No, Chair, you can proceed. Yes, I left the meeting due to technical issues. I think my main issue, as I'm listening to Ms. Govender, it was really to perhaps establish exactly issues that Honorable Billy asked. But for purpose of this meeting, it was actually to check whether beyond the oral response or presentation going forward for us to finalize this matter, in addition, whether we'll be receiving anything, as Ms. Govender has just elaborated on those issues. That's what I wanted to actually engage with Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aten Noah, for that. I'm going to hand off opportunity now to the Utugela board. Utugela Water.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, the MD did a presentation, of course, previously when we had visited you there. And I think I'm not too sure, Chair, in this meeting, if we have the shareholder municipalities, because there are questions from Honorable Bill that, of course, would have been directed to the shareholder municipalities. But as far as the presentation that you have made before the honorable members, may I please request that the MD, who was the person tasked or who's the person responsible for the implementation of those recommendations, I'll then fill up wherever he has left or omitted anything going forward. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ndate Mpela. In that order, MD, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to depart from a premise of a concern raised in a form of questions raised by the honorable member. Not that I'm making an attempt to respond to them. I believe Ms. Govender has responded. But I just want to start from a point, Chair, where we made a presentation that seeks to reflect some level of implementation of this particular report. There are specific citations here in the report, which I presented. There are specific recommendations which were made. The report which I presented, or the slides I presented, were specifically talking to the recommendations as made, as abstracted in the report. Now, Chair, this report reflected that there is quite a number of recommendations which were implemented. I don't want to generalize. I want to talk specifically on this report. It reflects quite a number of recommendations which were implemented, and that was prior my commencement to Tugela Water. Now, Chair, it is difficult to generalize on this report. The very easiest for me is to deal with each and every matter. But I can't recommend that we waste the time of this committee and delve into that. I believe, Chair, for example, if you make reference to Mr. Naidu, Mr. Naidu is an employee of the state. He works at Umgeni Water, but he was deployed at Utugela Water. One of the issues that you see with Mr. Naidu is that he did not present a recommendation of the racism report before the board in order to ignite and to enable the board to take action on the issues of racism, which were reflected by the report. Now, subsequent to this, Mr. Naidu resigned. Now, Chairperson, if you are to deal with this particular matter, it is always best that you focus on it and look into what is it that is regarded by Utugela Water or by the board as, what is it that they regard as implementation in respect of each matter. For example, in the issue of irregularities in the procurement, there was a particular matter which related to filling of a form by a service provider. In matters of such nature, the board will commission an investigation as duly required by legislation. But in the context of that investigation, the investigator or the appointed service provider will come back with recommendations to the board as to what needs to happen with each, because these matters were crisscrossing in the organization to the extent that you will find them as well in the audit report. And in the audit report, it will then necessitate that you conduct an investigation, and an investigation will present recommendations, and the board will adopt that, and it goes back to administration for implementation. I'm raising these examples, Chair, in order for us to realize that we need an approach, a linear approach in dealing with these particular matters. Hence, my recommendation to you, Chair, that in order for us as officials to enable the committee to perform its oversight, kindly allow us to with COCTA and the concerned party to have time to zoom into each and every recommendation of the report so that we can assess the level of implementation of the report. And as well put a test on whether SAMU is of the view that this implementation is adequate or not, so that we draw up a conclusion or a recommendation that will present before you as part of the way forward on each and every matter contained in the report. By so doing, Chair, I believe that will assist the committee in the performance of its oversight. Because, Chairperson, I don't want to be defensive insofar as the issue of implementation is concerned. But on the same breath, the record which I find at Tutuela Water reflected that some recommendations were implemented and some recommendations were impossible to implement. For example, in the case of an employee called Hose who passed away. So I suggest, Chair, that we zoom into each and every recommendation contained in the report, the parties being ourselves, being COGTA, being SAMU, zoom into this report, establish what is it that we regard as having been implemented, and then formulate some kind of a report to enable the committee to conclude the matter. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, MD. Thank you for that being progressive. The last part of your input is really assisting us. I don't want to waste any further time. I will give the last round to members, and then we'll conclude on this matter. Honorable members, from what we've received, the responses, both from COGTA, with the two officials, including Utugela Water, the two members. I see Honorable Peter Nowe. Over to you, Honorable Nowe.
Chair, I think that's exactly my point that has just been addressed, that there was something missing when I was looking at the manner in which we are dealing with this report. And this is exactly what the MD has just addressed, that we need that comprehensive engagement with the report in a form of a reply and submission as far as that report is concerned by the affected parties, Chair. I want to concur that we take that approach that has just been suggested. Though it comes late, it should have been, one would say, prior, that it is important that such a submission on the basis of the recommendation, the committee should have been favored with as such. So, however, we are at this where we are. Let's take that approach. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nowe. And then Honorable Billy, I see your hand is also up.
We'll know that perhaps, while noble as it is, it might be a little too late to suggest that an implementation report be done and submitted to the committee, because one of the biggest point of contention on this issue is the non-implementation of the recommendations of that report. While there may have been parts implemented, I think it would be impossible for this committee of parliament to conclude these hearings without getting a proper assessment or report on the exact implementations in as far as the board is concerned, in as far as the oversight responsibility that COGTA has got. It can't just be an abstract overview given on these issues. We've got to do better than that. And I think that is the expectation of everyone. So I want to support what Honorable Noah is saying without labeling much on this, that it remains impossible to conclude these hearings. We've got to get a clear breakdown of why certain things have not been done, what has been done, and the current status of where we are. From what I'm observing, Chairperson, and I'm sure that all of us are hearing this, the COCTA says that there are challenges with reports of this nature being implemented, and they are even considering legislative, reviews. I think there was a mention of a bill being sent to the Premier and so on to assist in terms of enforcing. But again, this committee is dealing with this matter specifically. So therefore, it would be correct for COCTA to say that this is the work that we have done. This is what we have required. These are the steps that we have taken to oversee the work that we had done, and this is a timeline of where we're unable to get cooperation from the shareholder municipalities or from the board. That responsibility has got to be clearly outlined by COCTA, not to say that they are interfering, but I think it is their main responsibility and mandate to ensure that they conduct that sort of oversight. So I want to suggest, Chairperson, that for us to be able to do due diligence on this issue, that perhaps reconvene or even have a submissions made to the questions that have been raised, specifically addressing the questions raised, so that we know exactly how we then move forward with this issue, Chairperson. I'll end it there for now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy. Thank you to the honorable members, Honorable Noe, and thanks very much to the officials in that. Honorable members, my gauge and the way forward, and I'm glad that the MD was able to make that undertaking, be able to provide specific issues as it relates to the report. And I think the report that we dealt with gave case by case in terms of the issues raised by the petitioner from SAMU. That MD and the chair, the standard procedure that normally we follow is to afford you about a space of about 3 months, which I think is fair that we finalize this matter. The move by the honorable members, by Honorable Noah and Honorable Billy and the committee, we agree that will afford now that space to go and develop that, because it will also show that we are moving in resolving the issues that have been raised. There are specific issues that have been being referred to, and it also helps us as Parliament that when we develop, as a committee, when we develop our own report to the NCOP, we're able to indicate that we have played our role in this petition, and here are the findings that the committee has concluded on. So the move that we have suggested, we fully agree with it. Notwithstanding, as members were saying, maybe it could have been done earlier, but we are here where we are, and I think we're making progress. For me, I'm satisfied as the chair of the committee that we are making progress on the petition. Today is the 9th of December, 2025. We should be able to get that information and that report on those issues at least by the 31st of March. I think it gives us, and it gives you also sufficient time to be able to conclude that. As I'm saying, my move is also informed by the normal procedure that we follow from time to time when we deal with these matters. So it's about 3 months to exercise that move. Honorable members, other than from what I've just said, and we've agreed that we're going to afford you that space to conclude on this matter and provide that report to us latest end of March 2026. And then we will be able as a committee to finalize our work on this petition. Honorable member, this is how we're going to move with the petition from SAMU with the affected parties, KZN COCTA, Utugela Water, and all the relevant stakeholders in this petition. Other than that, I don't know, did I miss anything? Does anyone wants to make a final input? And then we conclude on this matter. I'm affording you the opportunity. It can be from our members, it can be from the stakeholders, and then we move. I don't know, and that the MD is the time frame. Are you comfortable with that? And the chair?
Yes, Chairperson, the time frame is it's adequate. We have adequate time to do so. Then we undertake, of course, to respond or make that submission by the 31st of March. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair. And then you'll be able to also, on the specific issues that the members have raised, and I think you've captured them from Honorable Billy and Honorable Noe and all the honorable members. Members, without wasting time, I think we have exhausted the time on this one. We are going to proceed to other meetings. Ntate Mphela, ra go leboga thata ntate le re Nkosi, we really want to appreciate you. Cocktail KZN, Tate Katide, and Mayor Covenda, we really appreciate you for participating in this. You are more than welcome to leave the platform. We as the committee, we are proceeding with other matters before us. But thank you very much for your time and your availability.
Thanks very much, Chair.
Members.
And have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the same to you. Honorable members, we are done with the 2 items, and that Nkiza, can you fly the agenda? Kiza, are you still with us?
Yes, Chair. I did flag the agenda.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we've done with item 2 and item 3. We are going to go to item number 4. Item number 4, it deals with the Magog Village petition report. You'll recall that we did have a meeting to finalize the matter. There were some items that members felt they must still be added on the final report, and then this report will then go to the NCOP. Can you just fly the report for us? Members received as part of their pack. Honorable members, there is the report. We also have it on our emails. And this is now the report that we have regarding the SA lithium. Members received this on email. We did have the draft report, but then we had to give it some meat, as members were saying that we need to give this report meat. Mr. Mkiza, maybe you can just take us from the observations that the committee had. And then those are the observations and findings, members. Then we can move. And then maybe I would like us maybe to go one by one on just step here. Now, members, these are the recommendations as we have them. The first one is the independent compliance and environmental audit. That the Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, in collaboration with the Department of Forestry and Fisheries and the Environment and the South African Human Rights Commission, commission an independent compliance, environmental and health impact audit within 60 days of the adoption of this report. The audit must assess licensing, compliance, environmental degradation, air and water quality, and the health impact on residents, and its findings must be made public. So that's the first recommendation that we've contained in this report. And then we'll make sure that those relevant departments and stakeholders, they are able us to give us a report. Because you remember the petition, there was a lot of issues regarding the issue of blasting at Umzumbe and what's happened there by SA lithium. There were allegations that, you know, it is environmental impact. So as a committee now, the first recommendation is to get that whole thing. But importantly as well, is to touch on the licensing from the mining house. Remember that when mining takes place, there must be those compliance issues. And we also touch on the issue of the Human Rights Commission, that we believe it must be see how far is this operation impeding on those human rights, if there are any human rights violations. The second recommendations, it deals with the immediate relief and safety measures. The committee is recommending that the Department of Minerals and Petroleum Resources, Mr. Mkisima just fixed there, DMRE, working with the Department of Human Settlements and the Ugu District Municipality, conduct urgent structural assessment of damaged houses and facilitate temporary relocation or compensation for the households facing safety risks within 60 days of the adoption of the report. Honorable members, this recommendation, I hope it's just going a little bit on. We're also on number 2, in terms of how those houses that have been damaged, there must be that consultation. We'll remember that you wanted the municipalities must be involved there. I think Mr. Mkhize must also just include the local municipality there, Rain-Konyene local municipality. It's a part of our stakeholders there. And then, all right, honorable members, we're going to move to number 3. You will recall the petitioner was speaking about the issue of the grave violations. Now we are recommending that accountability for the grave violations. The committee further referred the matter of grave destruction to the Human Heritage Resource Agency and the Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious, and Linguistic Communities for investigation, prosecution, and remedial action under relevant heritage and cultural rights legislation. Because as part of the petitioner, they were saying that some of the graves have been damaged. There's allegations also that the mine is mining on the graves of ancestral graves. And those are very crucial matters that we believe as this committee, they should be further looked into. Recommendation number 4 is the restorative justice and compensation. The South African lithium mine, P2 Ltd, must just add the P2 Ltd, a formal name there, be directed to establish a compensation and restoration fund to address property damage, medical expenses, and loss of water supply. This fund must be administered transparently under the DMRE oversight with independent auditing and community representation. That was recommendation number 4. Then number 5, public transparency and progress reporting. The Minerals Department published quarterly progress reports on the implementation of all recommendations on both the website and the Department of Motor Group platform, ensuring continuous public accountability. We want to make sure that South Africans can see the work that we're doing as a committee. Number 6, we are proposing that, we are recommending rather, a follow-up parliamentary oversight visit, that the committee then undertake a follow-up oversight visit within 6 months of the adoption of the report to verify progress on the resettlement, the health interventions, and community compensation. It's also going to form part of our report back session to the community and to the petitioner. Then 7.7, we're dealing with legal and policy referral. That the report recommends the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development and the National Prosecuting Authority consider possible criminal or civil liability under environmental, heritage, and human rights legislation for any confirmed violations that will emanate now from the other departments' report. Then in 7.8, that the Madlala Traditional Authority or Tribal Council and the SA Lithium, in consultation with the community members, must establish a multidisciplinary committee to oversee the following. Those are the items that we want them to see. Social facilitation amongst them, cash compensation for assets, including crops and structures, settlement profiling, and I think it's remuneration. They just fix there the R. And then those are some of the other items that we must include. And then 7.9, the SA Lithium address the community concerns within the defined legal framework, address the concerns raised and take action to safeguard the well-being of the community. And I think number 9 does deal with community engagement and community reporting. And then number 10, the SA Lithium to ensure compliance with regulatory frameworks and fostering a mutually beneficial relationship with the affected community households. And the intervention of the DMR, the Department of Employment and Labor, the Department of Fisheries to act can facilitate as facilitators and exercise their oversight as regulators in the matter. Then the last recommendation, which is 7.11, the Department of DMR fixes that Mr. Mkhize, it must be Minerals, Petroleum Resources, the Department of Employment and Labor, Forestry and the Environment, and the Madlala Traditional Authority, and the SA let them appear before the committee within 6 months of tabling of this house and report to the committee in terms of the progress made in implementing those recommendations. And I think maybe when we do that follow-up parliamentary oversight, we will also afford the affected parties and the stakeholders to then give that, when we do the overall feedback and finalize on the matter, then they address those issues that the committee have raised. Honorable members, this is our Magog petition report. If there are additions that members feel is there something that we've missed, if members are happy with all those recommendations and the report with the amendments, just those grammatical errors, Mr. Mkhize, you'll take care of them. I'm opening the floor for honorable members if there are items that you think should be added. Otherwise, we'll have to adopt this report. Honorable Pitso Nowe, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I think I agree with the recommendations, Chair. They are comprehensive enough. However, I just want to submit that on 7.8, recommendation 7.8, that it should include either the municipality or COCTA, looking at the issues that committee, which has been recommended there, that they need to deal with. It will need a representative of government structure, so that like, for instance, if you look at bullet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, settlement profiling and enumerations, to make sure that issues like your environmental impact assessment, they should be taken care of, and that can only be handled by either COCTA or the municipality. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nowet, for those. So great, Honorable Billy. Honorable Billy, can we hear us? I see your hand up.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can proceed.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks for the report. Like my colleague, Honorable Noah, I think it really covers much of what we had observed, but also is able to find a balance on what needs to happen going forward. I think each and every one of us can be really proud of this piece of work that we have done. I think it was quite a very sensitive issue that we had to deal with, trying to cover all sides to ensure that the dignity of the people is sustained, but also we ensure that the economic viability is equally sustained. But obviously, the dignity of our people can never, supersede any economic incentive in any way or another. So I think this is really an incredible opportunity for us as this committee to bite where we can, but also allow other entities to do their part. I think we have done our part, and by adopting this report up to Parliament, the NCOP would have really covered our part of the work until such time that the other entities mentioned in the report are also able to assist us in ensuring that there is proper way of doing things. So having said that, Chairperson, I want to move for the adoption of the report with the amendment as proposed by my colleague, Honorable Noah. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy, for that. And thank you for the move for the adoption of the report. Can we have a seconder to the move by Honorable Noah? Honorable Billy. Untitled Noah.
Chair, I formally move for the adoption of the report with its recommendations.
Thank you. I think we and Honorable Billy were seconding the report, the move for the adoption. And then I think also the recommendations are very direct to the relevant department. We'll ensure that communication goes out, because once it's an adopted report of the NCOP, then they are compelled to be able to do the work that they're supposed to do. And then we'll also make sure that when we do the program for next year, we schedule also the meeting to the follow-up oversight as a form of a report back to the community of Umzumbe. Now, thank you for that, honorable members. We're going to move now to the next item. Mr. Mkhize, just fly the agenda again before I think we're doing the minutes that are outstanding. Yes, honorable members, we're on item number 5, which deals with the consideration and adoption of all outstanding sets of minutes. We have about 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 sets of minutes that we need to adopt. Mr. Mkhize, let's start with the one of the 14th of October. Honorable members, we had the virtual meeting on the 14th of October, 2025, and those was the agenda items. These are the members who were in the meeting and with those apologies. Then we had the officials. We started with the issue of welcoming, and then we did the consideration of the agenda. We then did number 6, the adoption of the progress report on the executive undertakings by the Minister of Public Works. Then at that meeting, wanted to do the consideration of the report of the progress report of Magog, but then we had to defer that item for today with the amendments. And then at number 8, we considered and adopted the draft minutes of the 15th of July. And then from there, we closed the meeting at 10:50, 10 to 11. Honorable members, those are the sets of minutes of the meeting of the 14th of October. I'm going to open up for the consideration and adoption minutes if there are no inputs or corrections on the minutes. Is there a mover for the adoption of the minutes?
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Midupi.
Chairperson, I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Midupi. Can we have a seconder to the move by Honorable Midupi? Honorable members, can we have a seconder from the move by Honorable Onika Midupi?
Chair, if it's the meeting of the 14th, because I just went out, came back quick. I was not there, and Honorable Nonkonyana, Honorable Mkhize, and Honorable Billy, they were there. So I think we can proceed with the adoption of the minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Midupi. Can we have a seconder to the move by Honorable Onika Midupi?
Chair, if it's the meeting of the 14th, because I just went out, came back quick. Myself, I was not there, and Honorable And people were there. It's Honorable Billy who must second. Today Zulu is not here and Mananisa is not here.
Thank you very much, Honorable Noah. Honorable Billy, can you assist us there?
I second, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy. We know that you are out there on the ground in rural KwaZulu-Natal.
Mr. Godsell was there. Is he still in the meeting?
He's still here. No, thank you very much. The minutes of the 14th of October are duly adopted. Can you go to the second set of minutes, Mr. Mkize? Just flight us the second set of minutes. Mr. Mkize, can you assist us? Mr. Mkize, are you still with us? Khabazela isikhathi siyahamba. Uhambe nathi ungashiwe.
I'm with you, Chair.
Ingathi uthatha isikhathi esiningi phela sifuna uhlukumeza i-members. Just fly them for us.
Are they visible, Chair? Can you say the 28th of October sets of minutes?
We are seeing your internal drive. That's what is flighted. There we go. Thank you very much. Members, this is the second set of minutes draft. Just go a little bit up. This was the minutes of the meeting on the 28th of October. We held it at the NSFAS building in Cape Town, in the CBD of Cape Town. And we had the agenda. As you can see, we're dealing with the petition of SAMU. And then we had members in attendance. We had Honorable Mokai, Honorable Mananis, Honorable Billy, Honorable Zulu, Honorable Midupi, Honorable Kotsa, Honorable Gerike, and Honorable Mampuru. And those were the officials, and these were the stakeholders who were there. We dealt with the welcoming and the opening. We considered the agenda. We had the hearing from SAMU. And we had inputs from the relevant members, the officials who were there. And we had submissions from Utukela Water, and members had deliberations, and we closed the meeting. Honorable members, the meeting was adjourned at 12:50. These are our minutes. Can we have the mover to consider and adopt the meeting if there are no any corrections or inputs? Honorable Billy?
Chair, I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy. If you have a seconder. For the adoption of the minutes of the 28th of October. We have Honorable Mampuru. Over to you.
I second, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Mr. Mkize, help us with the other sets of minutes. Yeah.
Chair?
Yeah. Yes, we can see.
Sure.
This was a meeting on the 4th of November, just on the virtual platform, and we're hearing the petition from the South African Express Airways. Go down. These were the members who were present. And go down the officials. And then we had inputs from the stakeholders. The minister was there with us, the petitioner. And we had deliberations as a committee. And those were our committee resolutions. And then we closed the meeting. Just go down. The meeting ended at 11:40. Honorable members, these are the sets of minutes of the 4th of November. Can we have the mover for the adoption of the minutes? If there are no corrections or additions. Can we have a mover for the adoption of the minutes?
Chair,
Honorable Noe.
I'm just taking an interest there on the presentation by the minister on that day, just hindsight looking at the meeting, the decisions that we have just made regarding the that was on Utugela. But on this matter also, did we, if we remind ourselves, what we said the department must submit as to what was its position during the proposal of the liquidation. I see there was an undertaking by the minister to provide the committee or make submission, whether those submissions were made.
Thank you. We agreed that, remember the other time it was under the Department of Public Enterprises, but we still said to the minister, it forms part of her portfolio. There's an official who was with us who was gonna follow up, but now it was a bit of a hang until we got the legal opinion, because we wanted to include the issues of the business practitioners, but you needed some legality. But I haven't seen any report from them, so taking from what transpired today, then we will then make a follow-up, because that item we've got a green light that anybody, we actually said that even some of the ministers, from finance and so forth, they must give us that input. So we just have to make sure that the enterprises or the former enterprises must also assist us there as part of what we decided now today. But I haven't received anything from the department. I think I've answered you.
It's important, therefore, Chair, that the Secretariat, when they deal with the implementation of the decision that we earlier took, they should then revisit this area and make sure that that what we decided upon, it carries together what was discussed here and undertakings by the minister and decisions we made there, so that it doesn't leave anything outside from here moving forward. Everything else is taken on board. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Agreed, and I think that is very important, because then it means that we are consistent in our work. Mr. Mkhize, I hope that you've captured what Honorable Noe was just made that input.
Noted on that one.
Thank you very much. Is there now Honorable Noe, did you move for the adoption of the minutes?
I moved here. No.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Then can we have a second to Honorable Noe? Honorable members on the platform. Honorable members, can we move? Second, the move by Honorable Noe.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I stand to second Honorable Noe with the inputs that he made. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Onika Midupe. Then, members, we're going to proceed. I think it's the last set of minutes. Mr. Mkhize, just fly them. This is the last set of minutes. These are from the meeting of the 28th of November, about almost 2 weeks ago. We had a visit by members of the Ghanaian Parliament who were here on a benchmark exercise. It was Friday. These are the members who were present, and we noted the apologies. Go down. And these are the officials who joined us. Item 4, this is the composition of the delegation from Ghana. And number 5, we did the opening and the welcome. We did the introduction. We dealt with the referrals of undertakings. Number 7, we had a briefing by the delegation from Ghana on the Committee on Assurances. And we had the briefing. We had deliberations, number 8. Go down. And then we closed the meeting at 12:45. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Mkize. Honorable members, is there a mover for the adoption of these minutes? Honorable members, Honorable Billy.
Chair, I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Yes, no, thank you very much. Given that no much decision was taken there at the meeting, it was benchmarking, and the members who were there, Honorable Herrick and Honorable Manan is not here, the veto and the powers in me as a chair, I second that move by Honorable Billy, just for us to proceed with the adoption of those minutes. Honorable members, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank every member who's on the platform who joined us. We noted all the apologies, and we want to express our appreciation also to our support staff, Mr. Mkize and Ms. Namhla Nwala, who's our researcher. We earlier had on the Mr. Majosi from Communication Services, as well as the parliamentary TV and the parliamentary streaming service. I'd like to thank you everybody for your participation and your dedication to this committee for this year 2025. I wish you all of the best for the remainder of the year. Go rest, members. Next year we're coming again, rejuvenated to do the work that is before us as members of parliament. With those words, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Goodbye, everyone. Aligning myself with the comments by the Chair.
Bye-bye.
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 Enjoy your holidays.
Enjoy your holidays, Rapala. Right away.